Alright, so guys, it's the one and only Christopher Bruce here again. I just thought I'd give you some more interesting ideas about the Canadian people and the Canadian government and the Canadian people and their disgusting, I mean fucking revolting crimes against the children of Earth. Not just me, like through me, traumatizing all the children of Earth and literally creating a civilization of child molestation, faggotry, and perversion as a gross game. And they've been doing it since the 70s, or even before I was born, they probably did it as well. But anyway, I'm gonna try to tell you, like, in my life, when you go on the internet over the years, you'd always read conspiracy theories about governments and the government and politicians or influential and wealthy people and stuff like that participating in like S&M type child raping, pedophilia, mutilation, and abuse games and stuff like that, like sickening stuff. And I never believed it. I had no idea what was going on, right and wrong. And for the most part, I forgot my childhood because when I was like 12 years old, they took me out of school and just basically like stay home and play video games, ignore everything you've seen in your life, forget it all, and just go on with your life. And then they hoard me in a relationship years later, and all these decades later, figuring things out, and it's like, holy shit. Yeah. And basically, my life, I am proof that those conspiracy theories are true. They are 100% true, and my life is like proof of it. Everything they've done to me, my existence, everything I say, my memories, everything is proof that the governments really do participate in rape and molestation, pedophilia, and mutilation rituals against children. They really do it. They're sick in the head fucking freaks, especially in Canada, in the Commonwealth. They're freaks. And when you confront them about it, they just try to treat you like you're crazy and fucking lock you up and drug you and poison you and start trying to dominate you more and more and more for their S&M thing. Basically, in my life, it started off being surrounded with children who all had, being surrounded with families and children that all had cryptic names that all coalesced into this an idea about Jesus and S&M, sex and mutilation and stuff like that, sex and mutilation rituals and stuff like that, S&M. And as I was starting off as a little kid, like really young child, they used to guide us around, and the adults would have sex in front of us and stuff like that. Like when we're really young children, the adults would have sex in front of us. Like you'd literally see like 5-year-old children just sitting there cross-legged watching the adults have sex in the middle of the room. Yeah, that's truth. That's an honest to God memory. They really do that shit in this country, in Canada. And they were always fucked in the head. But once I was like 12 years old, I'm like, oh, I've had enough of these people. I don't want anything to do with them. There's something wrong with them. And then they basically started fucking plotting out the demise of my life. And they're like, here, play video games alone inside all day. And they arranged for me to have a Nintendo Entertainment System. And like, here, have Super Mario Brothers or S&M Brothers. You know? And then the other games and stuff like that in the future were like Sega games, Sonic the Hedgehog, or the vocal cords, the oral, you know, the sound and the oral, you know. So you have the S&M and the oral, and then Mario Brothers is about plumbing, you know, and Sonic the Hedgehog and stuff like that, or Sega, Sega, mispronounced C-gay, or Chris Gay, and stuff like that, or Chris the Faggot and stuff like that, and anal sex and oral and stuff like that. And so those games were all meaning as a child. And then all like 15 years later, well, not 15 years, about 8 years later, they put me with a woman whose name was Elisa O'Brien, or Elisa O.B., which backwards is B.O. asshole, or B.O. is body odor, smelly, so like smelly asshole, you know, and had like basically like a forced relationship with her that was just a bullshit routine for part of an S&M ritual, and then was like brutally mutilated and stuff like that, and you know, like intentionally botched operations to scar me up like Jesus in a crucifixion ritual in the OR and stuff like that. They really do that stuff. Like they're sick in the head, you know. But yeah, my dinner is done. So anyway, I'll talk about this another time. But there you go. It basically is the truth. Like I can prove to you 100% that the government of Canada really does participate in S&M rape and mutilation rituals against children, and they planned it out from the moment they're born, like sick in the head freaks. I'm proof of it. I can prove it to anyone easily. But anyway, there you go.